My name is Asayo Takigawa. I've been living in Torrance for 56 years. I have 5 kids, all boys, and a husband. And I have 1 granddaughter. Her name is Cindy. Of course, I have 9. I never knew where Pearl Harbor was. At that time, I had just turned 9, and I don't remember.
Okay. What about like your parents? Do you remember your parents' reaction?
My parents are from Japan, and so I don't think they knew where Pearl Harbor was. But all they thought, they were really worried because it was Japan, their country, that bombed Pearl Harbor. I was 9. That was in April 1942. I was put in Poston, Arizona, Camp 1. And Poston had 3 different camps, 1, 2, and 3, and we were in 1. When we were there, we were allowed 1 suitcase. I took a pair of roller skates and a baby doll, a rubber doll, and some clothes. And if you can see here, you can see the suitcase. These gentlemen are carrying only 1 suitcase, and that's all you were allowed to take. I really don't think, they just said the Japanese word is shikataganai, cannot be helped. And so there was no rioting or anything, and we just went quietly.
Were you separated? All in the camp.
Well, every morning we hear gong, 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 and then we all run to the mess hall and had our breakfast. And then the kids who had to go to school, we went to school, grammar school, and as you can see, this is in 1944, and this was in the 5th grade. I have a picture of this. This is that was 44, this is 45, I was in the 6th grade. The worst part is if we had to go to the restroom, we had to walk. And as you can see in here, let's see. Oh, this is it. This is the plan. And if we lived here, if we lived here, then the restroom was over here. This is the men's latrine, and this is the women, and this is the laundry room. And then this was the mess hall. And this is where you hear the gong gong that we ran for lunch and breakfast, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When we were in camp, we all went to the barracks, like these, and we went to classroom. In 1 year, the fathers all got together and built, an auditorium like that. And it was made out of adobe. They took and let's see. Oh, these are the adobe. Now this is a classroom. I don't know how many rooms they had. I think it was up to the 8th grade, from kindergarten to 8th grade. Okay. This is the barracks, and like this. And within a year, the Japanese people, they planted trees, and then they made a pond, and they did things. That's where you get the Japanese gardener, okay? And this is what it looked like. And there were so many, this family had maybe 3 people, there were a couple and with their kid, and maybe grandma, grandpa, they all had 1 room. And so a lot of people had a rope across it, had a sheet hanging. That was the way they, separated the room. Actually, it was 1 big room. It's just like, this place here with a sheet hanging. Oh, I was brought up like an only child, so I loved it. When I went outside, there were kids all over the place. And we had no games, or anything to play with, really. Except I took my roller skate and I skated inside the laundry room because that's the only place that had cement. But every night we all played capture the flag, it's a game, or we would play paper dolls, make paper dolls. And some people had jacks. You know what jacks are? We played jacks, yeah. And a lot of the kids, boys, they play baseball, and they were very well organized. I have a girlfriend. We've been friends ever since then. It's over 75 years, we're still friends. When we both got married, we stood up for each other. And she only lives about 5 blocks away now. And the children grew up together. And when I was in camp, this lady here, she wrote to me from her church, and we became a pen pals at 9. And do you know, we still correspond. And in those days, the stamp was 3 cents. And now we're all in our 80s.
Have you ever?
And a lot of times people would make their own gifts and give it to them at Christmas time because no one had money. And I think a lot of companies like Sears and Roebuck, and they did very well because there was no stores. So they would have to, just like, I guess, like Amazon.com or whatever now. And that's how we ordered our clothes and things, and shoes and things, until they got a little store, I guess. We used to wear a lot of this, the Mexican people used to make huaraches, and we used to wear those. And if they got too big, we used to soak them in water and they would shrink a little bit. And then what do you mean I adjusted life? I had to go back to school. I was only 13, so I went to school in Guadalupe, which is 9 miles west of Santa Maria. And I went to school there. Yeah. When we went to school, they would say, "You Jap," but then, everybody still has that same kind of problem. Oh, my father was a barber, and he came back and he opened up a barber shop. And then my mother, we lived in Guadalupe, and it's a strawberry farm lot, so she used to go and pick strawberries. Because, most of us think that was that time, and that, if there wasn't a war, we wouldn't have had all this problem, And it's just like President Obama is in Japan now, and people think that he should apologize. I don't think he should. We didn't start the war. Japan started it. So I just don't think there was no apology or anything. I think it would be sad, and this is what they have in the newspaper, in the LA Times, about the Muslims who would think. And the Japanese people say, "Don't force them into camp. You're doing exactly what you did to us." It was in the morning in April 1942, and we were going to go to Anaheim to get on a train to go to Parker, Arizona. And as we're getting ready, I'm running around in the yard having a good time because I was so happy we're going on a train. My mother was sitting on the porch crying. And I says, "What are you crying for? We're going on a train and we're going to take a bus." And she says, "I'm leaving the home that's what's been mine for how many years, and I don't want to leave it." But the day before, we had a dog. We had 2 dogs. And one of the men, my father was a barber, and he would pick up the laundry and the towels and things. He took the dog, one dog. We had another dog, a baby dog. And my father said, "You can't have him unless you take the baby too." So he took 2 of the dogs. We had 3 dogs really. And the other dog, I took him to the neighbor's place, and I said, "You have to watch our dog, and we're going to give it to you." And I came home. Before I came home, that dog zipped home and was home before I was. I had to grab him again and take him all back to the neighbor's place, and they had to lock him up. And that was sad. But that I remember. I really don't know. The funny thing about us, we don't talk about it. What's done is done, and we have to go forward. And no use dwelling on something that's already passed. So whatever you girls do, live day to day, the best you know how, because you're not going to have this day again. you'll have another day. And so be happy and do the best you can. And the most important thing in the world is treat other people as you want to be treated. And you'll be fine. This whole country will be fine.